Hello my beautiful babes of it, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, thank you so much for watching today. But in today's video, I'm going to be doing another collection slash declutter video, and this is going to be with my face palettes, highlighters, bronzers, and blushes. So if you're interested in seeing what I have and seeing what I plan to get rid of, then keep on watching. Alright lovelies, another collection slash declutter. I'm so excited. I hope you guys are all doing well. Grab a snack, grab something. We'll be here for a little bit because I do have a good amount of like face palettes and blushes. Nowhere near of the amount of eyeshadow palettes I have, but it's a decent sized collection, so the video might be long. I'm also going to be filming it in my dining room space because it's so much easier to film it on my dining table. So there might be a slight echo because that room has really high ceilings and we're still furnishing it, but it's just so much easier for me to film out there than this little like makeup room that I have. Also, I will show you guys how it's stored like in the drawers and everything. And what do you guys think about this look? I'm feeling very like midnight bluey vibes right now. I don't know, I was in the mood for something really smoky and I was playing with this palette from Juvia's place. This was the Disco Party. This was the collaboration with Fumi, and I just think it's so pretty. Of course, I do have pressed glitters on my eyes because I'm a glitter girl, but I don't know, I think it's really cute. I'm feeling it. But anyways, you are here for the declutter in the collection video. But before we jump into that section, if you are new here and you like fashion, makeup, beauty, and all that fun stuff, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family we got going on. And don't forget to click that notification bell so you are notified every time I post a video. So let's now get into my collection and declutter. So here are all of my bigger face palettes that have like a combination of blushes, highlighters, and bronzers in it. So we're gonna go through all of this. I don't think I'm gonna declutter any of these bigger palettes, but I definitely have some singles and smaller palettes I wanna get rid of. So let's get into it. So I have a bunch of these Tarteist Pro palettes. I have the original Pro Glow, which looks so beat up. I've pretty much used most of this cream contour shade, and the highlighters in here are really pretty. I have a dip in the bronzer, so I'm gonna hold on to that because I really love this palette and the colors are perfect for me. Here is the Pro Glow and Blush. This one has a bunch of blushes in it. It has a highlighter, and I feel like this is more like a kind of glowy bronzer, and I think this is really pretty. And then here is the regular Pro Glow, and this one has, it looks like two bronzers in here, like one more warm, one more cool, two highlighters and two blushes, and I really like this one as well. Here is the Natasha Denona, what is this? The Blush and Glow palette. And I think this is so pretty. It has two cream products in here, but I really love the powder products the most in here, but I've definitely gotten a lot of use out of the cream products too. Oh, I just love Natasha Denona's face products. Here we go. So this is pretty new to my collection. I recently picked this up, and I consider this a face palette. It has shadows in it, but I would probably use this mostly for my face. Like this highlighter is so pretty. Has a bronzer, a blush, and then some shades in here that I could also pull off as blushes. Probably would use it for that. And I think this is really pretty, so I can't wait to play with this. I have this big boy right here. This is the Fenty Beauty palette. I think this is from holiday 2 years ago. This is the Kilowatt Foil palette. Honestly, I don't know. It's called the Freestyle Highlighter palette. Now this one has some really weird, not weird, but very interesting shades. Stuff you typically don't see in a highlighter palette. Great for like darker skin tone, but they do have some icy shades. The shade's really pretty, but I use these as like blush toppers. I've even shared this out as a blush, and I think they make also really pretty shadows. So I am holding on to this. Also was a gift from my boyfriend. He attempted to buy me makeup, and I'm really happy he bought me this as I love it. Okay, so I have this one from Cover FX, which honestly I haven't even used that much either. I got this in a BoxyCharm. But I think this would be such a good travel palette. But it has a contour, a finishing powder, some highlighters, and a blush in here. And overall, I do like Cover FX as a brand, so very good. I have this one from Wet n Wild. And I said I wasn't going to get rid of any palettes here, but I actually think I'm gonna let this go. Now that I think of it, I never think to reach for this. I've had it for a very long time, and it's not my favorite like highlight formula in here, and I have a lot of these like interesting shades and formulas that I love even more. So I'm actually gonna let this one go. Oh, I think I'm getting better at letting stuff go. So I have this palette from Juvia's Place. This is the Saharan Blush Volume 2 palette. This is so pretty. I love this a lot. I can actually use this as a bronzer in all the other shades. I can use this as a blush. I can use these as blush toppers, and I've used this so many times. I'm never gonna let this go. I have this one from a Smashbox. This is the Cali Contour, and I travel with this a lot. This is like the main palette I take with me when I go on vacation because it has a bronzer, it has a contour, 2 highlights, a nice like neutral blush, and a finishing powder in here. So it's great for traveling. I also have this one from Smashbox, and I think this was holiday, not last year, but the year before that. And this is the Holidays Contour and Spotlight palette. And this is so good. Now, it's on the lighter side, so it wouldn't work for darker skin tones, but I think this is so pretty. The highlighting shades are gorgeous. I have this one palette from Huda, and you know what? I think I'm gonna let this one go. I never think to use this, ever. This has one cream product, which I don't really see the point of this product. It doesn't work very well. And then the other highlighters are pretty. I mean, this makes a pretty like blush topper, but I have so many shades like that in my collection, so I'm actually going to get rid of this. This is a finishing powder, a bronzer, a contour. I just really like this palette a lot. All right, so I have these 2 palettes from Beach Cosmetics. This is from their travel series. This is the Glowing in Grease. This is really pretty. I did break the shade, but I love the blushes in here and the blush topper shade, so yes, keeping this. And then here is the Blushing in Bali. This is also really pretty. 3 blushes, 3 highlighters, a good range for different skin tones, so I really like this palette. I have this one right here from Kenia Ontiveros. I think that's how you say her name, but this is the Blush and Shine kit, and this is stunning. I love this palette. I like the highlighting shades, the blushes. It has a good like variety to like a bright pink to a peach. You can sheer these out, you can make them more pigmented. I really like this palette. I did get it in a box each time, and I'm so happy that I got it. Here's the ColourPop what is this, Give Me More face palette. This is one of the first products that I bought from ColourPop besides a few of their palettes, and this was actually my first highlighting palette ever. But these are mostly used as blush toppers for me, like these ones right here. I can use these as highlighters, and I love this so much. I don't think I would ever let this go because it's like special to me. It's my first highlighting palette. This is when I first started getting into highlighting, and I just have so much fond memories with this. This right here is the Elva 2 Udin's Eye highlighting palette. This is pretty new to my collection, and gosh, this packaging gets me every time. But this is a highlighter palette, and they're so pretty, especially this salamander shade. It's a gorgeous like sparkly highlighter if you like sparkly highlighters. And this gnome shade right here is such a pretty peachy gold shade. And then the other 2 are like nice and unique, a blue one, a violet one. So good. So I have this one palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Aurora Glow Kit, and this was when I started getting into more colorful highlighters. So this was my first colorful highlighter palette, and I love this a lot. I'll probably never let this one go as well. I love all of the shades in here, especially Lyra and Helia. They're so pretty. And Eclipse, all really nice shades, so I'm so happy to have this in my collection. Okay, so here is from Kimchi Chic. This is the Drama Queen, the Unboring highlighter palette, and that is so true because there are very unique colors in here, but the formula in here is so beautiful. It is so silky to the touch, and they're just so pretty. I love the range of options in here. This is a palette that would work for all skin tones. It has this beautiful like blushy shade for me, and overall I just really like this palette. I really like Kimchi Chic's brand. It's just so good. Here is from Too Faced. This is the Cocoa Contour Palette. And I've actually never used this one before. And I'm on the fence on whether I need to keep this. It has a bunch of different like bronzing shades and contour shades and like highlighting powders. I don't know why anyone would need all of this if it's just being used for an individual person. This is more like a product that worked for a makeup artist. And I'm on the fence. I think I actually might give this one away because I'm probably never going to end up using it. So I think I'm going to actually pass this on. Look at me letting things go. I have the iconic London, what is this called? This is the Blaze Chaser face palette. I got it in a BoxyCharm, and I actually think this is really pretty. I like the variation here, and the formula is actually pretty nice, so I'm keeping this. Okay, so I have this one from BH Cosmetics. This is the Dual Light Highlighting 9-color palette, and this is so pretty. Now these highlighters are super high shine, so it's easy to like get carried away with this and overdo it because they're just so glowy, but they are so pretty. Look at that. Look at that. This is such a beautiful formula from BH Cosmetics. Highly recommend this one. Okay, and then I have this one from Tarte. This is the Park Ave Princess Face Palette. And this one actually is pretty good. I've used this quite often. I actually can like just mix these shades and use them as one like bronzing shade, like bronzing contour shade. And these two work beautiful as like toppers to my bronzer. And I've used both of these, so I'm definitely keeping this. And last but not least, and this palette right here is all of my single blushes. These two are from Lethal. Gorgeous. These are all from Sydney Grace, and then this one is from I think Ofra, and I love these, so yes, keeping all of those. So here are my smaller little face palettes, like little blush palettes and little highlighter palettes. I'm actually going to get rid of quite a few of these, so let's just get into it. So I have this Wonder Beauty Wondrous Dusk to Dawn blush highlighter palette, and I'm actually gonna let this go. I don't really like the highlighter shade in here, and I just don't like how small the pans are, and I never think to reach for this, so I'm going to let this one go. I have this one from Zoeva. This is the Premier blush palette, I believe, and this is really, really pretty. I love these shades, and I actually sometimes use this as like a topper shade because it's too dark as a highlighter, so I'm holding on to this. I have these two little palettes from Almar Cosmetics. This is their Colorette blush trios. I have the one in Fair Light. These are so pretty, and they're kind of like satiny and slightly sheeny. And then this one is in the medium to tan, so it's just deeper shades. They're so good. The formula on these are amazing. Alright, so this is from Catrice. This is a ombre blush. This is kind of like a highlighting shade, a blush, and maybe more of a bronzer. But I actually never use this, and I feel like it's overly pigmented, so when I try to put it on my face, I feel like no matter how light I go into it, it ends up looking like too much or like clown cheeks. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I have this from Pure. This is the Bronze and Brighten palette, and I'm actually gonna get rid of this. This is pretty intense, like overly intense. This is too sheeny to be a bronzer topper. This is actually a really pretty blush topper, but this shade is like super blinding, and honestly, I just never think to use this, so I'm gonna let it go. This is the Urban Decay Cherry Highlighter and Blush Palette, and at the time, I thought this was pretty. I do like the blush, but I'm not the hugest fan of the highlighter shades in here, so I'm gonna get rid of this. Then I also have this one from Urban Decay. This was a collaboration with Kristen Leanne, and I think it's pretty, but it's not my favorite. It's just okay. It was cool at the time when I had it, but I never think to use this anymore, so I'm gonna give this one away. Then I have these two little blush palettes from Essence, and they're actually pretty good. I mean, the highlighting shade, like in this one, is just really powdery and not very good, but the blushes were really pretty in this one as well. But I never think to use these, and they're kind of old. I've had these for a really long time, so I'm actually going to get rid of these. Then I have this Lovecraft Beauty palette. This is a blush palette. It's nice, but these are kind of muted and lackluster to me, and honestly, I also don't ever think to pull this out, so I'm gonna give this one away. And then here are the two dual blushers from Kaleidos. I love both of these, so these aren't going anywhere. This is a peachy one, and this is a more cool tone kind of lavendery blush, so holding on to these. Then I have these two palettes from Ofra. This one is the Madison Miller collaboration, and it's so pretty. This blush is gorgeous, and then these two highlighters are really nice, and Ofra just has a really nice formula, especially for face products. And then this is the Nikki Tutorials Highlighting Trio. Stunning highlighters in here, so I'm keeping this. Then I have this one from Glamlight. This is pretty new to my collection. This is the S'mores highlighter and contour palette. I actually really like this. I can actually use this as a bronzer, surprisingly. It looks dark in the pan, but it shears out really nicely, and then I mix these two highlighters. So I really like this, so I'm keeping that. Then I have this from Flower Beauty. This is the Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette, and this is so good. It has a creamy texture to it, like a cream to powder formula, and these highlighters are so good for like drugstore makeup. Look at that. So stunning. I would never let this go. Such a pretty highlighting palette. Then I have this one from The Balm. This is the Auto Balm Girl Power Blush palette, and this is really pretty. It has 3 blushes in here and one little like glowy blush moment, and I actually really like this, so I'm gonna hold on to this. Then I have these. These are all from Cover Effects, and I'm keeping all of these. This is the Pink Dahlia one. Very beautiful. I have the Warm Honey. I have the Soft Peach. The Mojave Mauve. And the Spice Cinnamon. These are so pretty, so amazing, such a great formula. Then I have this one from Pacifica, and I actually really like this one. The blush is beautiful, and then the glowy shade in here I use as a blush topper on top of this. So good. And last but not least, this is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Blush Trio in Pool Party. I'm actually gonna let this go. And honestly, it's because I never think to use it, and it's been in my collection for a long time, and I just don't use it enough, so I need to hand this off to someone who will get more use out of it, so I'm going to let this go. Alright, so here are all of my single blushes, and I'm going to get rid of some of these, but for sure I'm going to keep this. This is new to my collection. This is from Nomad. This is their Disco Lighters. This is like a glowy blush topper for me, so I'm keeping that, as well as this one. This is the other shade, and this is a very peachy, glowy blush topper, so I'm going to hold on to these. Then I have these two from Nabla. These are the Skin Glazing Finishing Glow Powders. I use these as blush toppers. I have the shade Truth in Adults Only. They're so gorgeous, so stunning. I love this formula, so I'm holding on to these. Then I have these from Wet n Wild. These are baked blushes from their Flights of Fancy collection. I think that's what it was called, but I love all of these, so I'm keeping all of these. Then I have these two blushes from BH Cosmetics. They're floral blushes. I have the one in Caribbean Coral, and then I have the bronze, the Bahama Bronze. And I love both of these, so I'm keeping these. I have this one from Udin's Eye. This is the Flower Blusher in the shade Little Jasmine. This is so pretty. It has a little sheen to it, and it's pretty new to my collection, so I'm keeping this for sure. Then for ones that I know I'm gonna get rid of, these are both from Essence. These are the Satin Touch Blush. Nothing's wrong with these, but they're just so old, and I just have blushes I love more than these that I have in these shades, so I'm going to let these go. I'm also gonna let these two go from Tarte. These are like mini sizes of their Amazonian Clay blushes. This is the one in Insightful, which is more of like a mauve shade, and then this one is in Monarch, which is in like a more peachy shade. But these are really old, and I feel like they're kind of drying out and aren't as pigmented as they were when I first got them, so I'm gonna get rid of these. I'm also gonna get rid of this. This is from Physicians Formula. This is their Mood Boosting Blush, but this is so lackluster. There's no pigmentation to this, like, whatsoever. Like, you have to be so pale for this to actually show up on the skin, so I'm gonna get rid of this. Then I'm gonna get rid of these two Essence blushes. These are the Mosaic blushes. I think these are really good quality. They're so affordable, but I just have other blushes I love more in these colors, and I just never think to use these, and they're pretty old to my collection, so I'm gonna let these go. Then I have this one from e.l.f. This is one of their primer infused blushes, and I think, what is this? Always Cheeky. I'm gonna let this one go because it's just way too light for my complexion. It just doesn't show up on me, even at my lightest, so I'm going to let this one go as well. But I also have this one from e.l.f. in the Primer Infused collection. This is Always Rosy, and this is a beautiful like mauve shade, and it's perfect for my complexion, so I'm keeping this one. I have these two from Flower Beauty. This is the Flower Pot blushes. I love these so very much. This one is in a peach primrose, and then this one is in warm hibiscus. This is a more sheeny one. This is a more matte one. I love these, so I'm keeping these. I have this one from Kaleido Cosmetics, not Kaleidos, but Kaleido, and I'm actually gonna get rid of this. I never think to use this, and I don't know, I'm just gonna let it go. I have this from Ciate London. This is the Confetti Highlighter. I actually don't use this as a highlighter. I actually put this on top of blush because it's too dark to use as a highlighter. So I'm keeping this though. Then I have this blush from Buxom. This is one of their Wonderlust blushes. This is the shade Seashells. It is so pretty. It has a nice little sheen to it. It's on the neutral side, so it's one of those blushes that can go with any makeup look, and this formula is just so good. I want to get some of the other colors in this range. Just so nice. I have this right here. This is from Phase Zero. This is in Making Moves. I got this in a FabFitFun box. This is so pretty too, and it has a nice little sheen to it, so I'm going to hold on to this. I have this from Give Me Glow. This is the Sunset Glow. I don't even know what the shade is called in this. Oh, here it is, California Dreamin'. I actually use this as a blush topper, but it's meant to be a highlighter. Like, look at that. Whew, I could probably use that as a highlighter when I'm my most tan, but this is so gorgeous. This is from Burt's Bees. This is a classic. This is in Toasted Cinnamon. This is such a nice like neutral blush to also go with like any look. If I don't know what blush to use, I will reach for this one, so I'm keeping this. Then I have these two blushes from Hourglass. I have this one in Diffused Heat. So pretty. I love this a lot. I love the marbling. It's so good. And then I have this one. This is in Luminous Flush. Hourglass makes such great face products. Also really pretty. This is like a mini size one. Then I have this from Becca. This is in the shade Camellia. This is so pretty. It's like a glowy blush. So gorgeous. So I'm holding on to this. I have this from Milani. This is a mini of the Luminoso blush. It's really pretty. It's like a glowy peachy blush. So I'm holding on to this. Then I have these three from Fenty. This is the Kilowatt Foil Highlighters in Mimosa Sunrise and Sangria Sunset. I use these as blush toppers. These are so pretty. Like, look at that orange moment. Look at that fuchsia moment. Oh, I love this. Then I have this one from Fenty. This is also one of the Kilowatt ones, and this is in Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule. Very pretty blushy shades for me. So gorgeous. Then I have this right here. This is from Natasha Denona. This is a mini Bloom highlighting blush. Look at this gorgeousness. Oh, this is not going anywhere. This is such a beautiful like glowy blush. Don't mind the other swatches there, but I'm holding on to this for sure. Then I have this one from Kiko Milano. This is the Tuscan Sunshine Blush and Square of Miracles. This is such a beautiful, more like neutral blush as well, so I'm holding on to this. I have this one cream blush from Fenty in the shade Strawberry Drip. This is such a fun little cream blush, so I'm keeping that. I have this from Melt. This is one of their like split dual blushes. This is in Buzzkill. I love this. I use these as like blush toppers and highlighters, so I'm holding on to this. I also have this one from Melt. This is one of their, I don't even know what, digital dust highlights, but this is in the shade Genesis, which I also use as like a blush topper. So pretty. Then I have this one from Ciate London. This is the Marbled Light in Halo. It's just a marble blush. It's a more cool tone blush, and I think it's really pretty, so I'm keeping this. I have this cream blush from Botanic. I think that's how you say it, but I'm gonna get rid of this. It's actually not very good. It's really hard to pick this up, and it just pulls up your foundation. It's just not a good product, so I'm gonna let this one go. I have these last two single blushes. This is from Note. This is in the shade Desert Rose. I actually think this is really pretty, but for some reason I never think to use it, and it's really nice. It just, I feel like someone will get more use out of this than me, so I'm gonna let it go. And then I have this one from Ofra. This was my first kind of lavendery blush. This is in Crazy Pink. I think this is so pretty. I did break it a little bit, but I'm gonna hold on to this one as well. Okay, here are all of my single bronzers, which is pretty small compared to like my blushes and highlighters. But I think I'm going to maybe declutter a few of these. Let's start with what I'm keeping. So here's the Kaleidos Charisma Contour Palette. This is in what? Warm and medium, and I think this is such a beautiful little contour bronzing palette, great for travel. But here's a bronzer, contour, and a like brightening powder. I really like this a lot. It's a perfect shade for me. Then I'm keeping this. This is from Kiko Milano. This is the Tuscan Sunshine Radiant Bronzer. This is actually a really good color for me right now because I'm pretty fair and it's more on the light side, so it works perfect for me right now. This is from Too Faced. This is the Chocolate Gold Soleil bronzer, and I think this is so pretty. This is going to be so nice in the summertime because it has like a sheen to it and a glow, and I love a nice little glowy bronzer moment, so keeping this. Then I have this from Nabla, which is pretty new to my collection. This is the Skin Bronzing shade in Dune. This is really pretty. It's a kind of satiny bronzer that has a little bit of a sheen to it, but it's very pretty, so I'm keeping that. Here is from Too Faced. This is the Pineapple Sun bronzer. This was from their like Tutti Frutti collection, and honestly the only reason I'm keeping this is because of the packaging. This is so pretty. I love fruit packaging. I'm a sucker for pineapples, so really that's the only reason why I'm keeping this, because the product in here is not very good. Like this bronzer has no color payoff, like barely any, and this highlighter shade is actually pretty nice, but more on the powdery side. But really I'm just keeping this purely for the packaging. Then I have this from Pretty Vulgar. This is the Bronzed Bee bronzer, and I'm actually gonna let this go. It's a little on the dark side for me, and it's very warm, and I never use this, so I'm going to get rid of this. Then I have these two bronzers from BH Cosmetics. This is their Brilliance bronzers. I have the shade Golden Gal, which is a perfect bronzer for me right now because I'm at my most fair, so I'm keeping this. Then I have this one right here. This is the Bronzed Babe shade, and this is actually way too warm leaning for me and a little dark and too orangey, so I'm actually gonna let this one go. Then I have this one from Ipsy. This was a collaboration they did with Gigi Gorgeous, is that her name? And here it is. It has a split with like a contour and a bronzing shade, and I think this is really pretty. I just mixed the shades up and use it as a bronzer, so I'm keeping this. Then I have this from The Balm. This is the Take Home the Bronze in the shade Thomas. This is so good. It's their anti-orange bronzer. It's never too orangey or anything like that. It's like the perfect neutral bronzer, so I'm holding on to this. Then I have this one from Zoeva. This is their Radiant Bronzer Highlighter, and this one has a bronzer in here and then a little like highlighting shade. I haven't really played with this very much, so I have to use it more before I decide whether I want to keep it or not. Then I have this little mini blush from Benefit. This is the Hula bronzer, just a regular Hula shade, and I actually travel with this quite a bit. It's a perfect bronzing shade for me, so I'm holding on to that. Then I have these two cream bronzers. I'm going to keep both of these. This is the cream bronzer from Fenty in Macchiato. It is such a pretty bronzer, perfect color for me. I like playing with this when I'm in the mood to use cream products, so holding on to this. And then I have this from Tower 28, and this is more of like a glowy bronzer bomb. It's actually really, really pretty. I like this a lot when I just want to have a really glowy moment on my face, so keeping that. Okay, so here are all of my single highlighters, and I'm going to get rid of some of these. For sure, I'm not getting rid of any of my Kaleidos highlighters except for one, and I'll tell you why. But I have the Star Surfer highlighter, a nice little pinky highlighter, so pretty, love these. I have the Mars Melter highlighter. It's a pinky ready highlighter. Look at that. So pretty. And I also have the other Mars Melter. This is the older version. This is the reformulated one. But this is what it used to look like. Completely different. So these are like two different highlighters. So I don't know why they changed the formula or the color or anything. But I'm keeping both of these. Then I have the Laser Glazer highlighter, and this was actually discontinued. This is so pretty, I actually broke the top, but it's a greeny highlighter. I love using this as an inner corner highlight, but it's just such a pretty green highlighter. I don't know why they discontinued it because it's so pretty. Here is Diamond Dasher. It's like a peachy, pinky highlighter, so pretty. Okay, so then I have the Sailor Solar one, and this is a yellowy highlighter, very pretty. Oh, I love these highlighters. Then I have these two right here. This is the Ray Rider highlighter. So they reformulated this and made it into like a more improved formula. So this is the older version, but they don't look that different from each other. It's very slight and the texture is slightly different. So I'm keeping the reformulated version, and I'm gonna let this one go because it's pretty much a dupe of one another, so I don't need the older version. So this one I'm actually gonna let go. Then I have the Moon Crusher one, which is a bluey violet highlighter. And the last one is the Space Age Prophecy highlighter. If you were gonna get one highlighter from Kaleidos, it would be this one. Out of all of them, it is stunning. It's one of their multi-chrome highlighters, and this formula is so vibrant, so creamy. You have to see this. Like, this is worth every penny. So out of all the highlighters, I highly recommend this one. Then I have these two from ColourPop. These are from the Disney Villains collection. This is the Hades one, and this is the Cruella one. They're so pretty. They're the Super Shock formula, so gorgeous. So I'm holding on to these. I have these two highlighters from Benefit. I recently got these, so pretty. This is in the shade Tickle. It's a pinky highlighter. Oh, gorgeous. And then there's this one. This is Cookie. And out of the two, I think this one is so stunning. It's so special. There's something just so nice about that highlighter. So keeping both of these. I have this one from Fenty. This is the How Many Carats Diamond Balm highlighter. This is so special. Something about this formula is so gorgeous. It's like a translucent base with these fine little shimmers all throughout. Oh, this is so special. I like to use this for special occasions. And I have this one also from Fenty. This is in Metal Moon. I'm actually gonna get rid of this. This is a really lackluster highlighter, and it's shocking for a Fenty product to have a highlighter that's not very good. Do you see how powdery that looks? It has like no sheen to it. It's way too ashy for my skin tone, so I'm gonna let this one go. I have this little travel size one from Nomad. This is one of their highlighters in Balmoral Beach. It's a pretty pink highlighter, but I have highlighters in my collection I like more than this, so I'm gonna get rid of that. I also have this one from ColourPop. This was from the Disney Princess one. This is the Horse and Carriage highlighter. It's stunning, so I'm keeping that. Then I have this one from the Skin Glazing line from Nabla. This is in the shade Privilege. It's a peachy highlighter. I love this formula, so I'm keeping this. Then I have these two from Wet n Wild. These are so good from the drugstore. This is the shade Bloom Time and the Golden Flower Crown shade. So I'm keeping both of these. Okay, so then I have this one from About Face, which I just did a video trying About Face products. So this is very new to me, but this is one of their Light Lock powders and Stay in Bed. This is so pretty. The formula is so soft and silky. I highly recommend this highlighter. I think it's really good. If you want to learn more and see it in action, then definitely check out that video that I mentioned. I'll be in the description or up in the corner for you to check out. Then I have this from e.l.f. This is one of their baked highlighters. I don't even know what this is in the shade. This is a blush gem? I don't know. But this is such a nice, like, subtle highlighter when I want something more muted for like every day. If I'm just running an errand and I want a little bit of glow to my cheeks. So I'm keeping this. I have these two cream highlighters from Space Case Cosmetics. This is C from Space Highlighter and C from Space 1C and 1B actually. But I'm actually gonna get rid of these because the problem with these is when you try to put it over your foundation, it picks up the foundation on the skin, and I just don't like that. It creates like patches on the skin when you're trying to do your makeup. So I'm gonna let these go. They're just not my favorite like cream highlighter formula. Then I have these two like liquid highlighters. This is from Iconic London. This is an Illuminator and Original. This is so pretty. I like to mix this into foundations, use alone. I just think this is overall really, really nice. So I'm keeping this. And then I have this one. These are actually glitter drops. I don't really use this as a highlighter. I use this more to pat over eyeshadows to have more of a glitter effect. Or I like to use it on my body if I want to look like glittery and glowy, especially like in the summertime. So I'm keeping both of these. And I have this Physicians Formula Butter Highlighter in the shade Champagne. I actually think this is really pretty. It's one of those like cream to powder formulas. So I'm going to keep this. I have this highlighter from Laura Geller. This is in Peach Go. It's really, really pretty, so I'm keeping this. And then I have this one from Glam Light. This is their, I think, Concha highlighter, and this is really pretty. This is really new to my collection, so I'm keeping this. And then these are all of my loose highlighters. So this is from Fenty. This is the 24 K-Ray Fairy Balm highlighter, and this is really pretty. I actually like to dust this more on my body in the summertime because it's a little on the darker side. I can't get away with this highlighter when I'm my most tan, but I do think it's really pretty, so I'm keeping it. I have this from Cindy Grace. This is the Pumpkin Spice Latte highlighter. I actually use this more as a blush topper than a highlighter. I should have put it in the blush section, but I'm keeping this. Then I have this from Glam Light. This is the Cookies and Milk highlighter, and I think this is really pretty. This will probably be better for me when I'm a little bit more tan, but it's really nice. It's a nice formula. And then I have this one from Artist Couture, which is my favorite loose highlighter ever. This is in Purple Haze. It is so pretty. Like, oh, I wish you guys could see. I feel like I need to swatch this one. It has like a purple sheen to it. Do you see how pretty that is? I love this loose highlighter from Artist Couture, so I'm definitely keeping this. Alright, I wanted to show you guys everything that I'm getting rid of. It's not a lot, but it's better than nothing, and all the other things I'm keeping are things that I love and that I use. But here are the totals. So I had 41 face palettes. I got rid of 12 of them. I had 14 single bronzers and I decluttered 2 of them. I had 34 single highlighters and I got rid of 5 of them. And then I had 50 single blushes and I decluttered 11 of them. So that is all of my totals of what I decluttered and what I have. And that was everything. So let's wrap up this video. Alright guys, that was the end of my declutter slash collection video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and had fun seeing the things that I've hoarded over some time now. This was probably my worst declutter ever. I don't think I did very well at getting rid of things because I know I do have a lot, but these are things that I love and I did get rid of the things that I never use. So it wasn't really about how much I could declutter. It was really about just showing you guys what I have and then going through some of it and seeing the things that I don't like, that I don't need to keep hoarding and holding on to. But I at least got rid of about 30% of my face palette, about 20% of my blushes. I did get rid of only like 2 bronzers and 5 highlighters, but hey, I love those things that I'm keeping and I got rid of the things that I didn't need. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this video and had fun hanging out with me for just a bit. I will link relevant videos below, other makeup videos that you might be interested in, and I will also link the makeup I'm wearing today as well as my contact information. I am on Instagram. I have 2 pages now. So I have Breezy Lifestyle, which is more lifestyle, day-to-day things are posted on there, and then I've created a new Instagram page called Breezy_beauty, which will be all makeup related stuff, makeup looks, beauty shots, all that fun stuff. I'm working on it. It's still new, so I've posted a few photos, but I am going to keep posting more and more. So I would love for you guys to join my Instagram fam as well, I would really appreciate it. And if you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here and you like fashion, makeup, beauty, and all that fun stuff, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family we got going on. And let me know in the comments below, are you doing the declutter? Did you enjoy this video? Just how you are doing, or pretty much anything. Tell me anything in the comments below. I love hearing from all of y'all. And that was everything, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video and support my channel and all that good stuff. I just really love y'all and appreciate this little community that we are creating all together. But I hope you guys are doing well wherever you are in the world, and just sending you love and light. But until next time, bye guys.